Very good evening, folks. Welcome to the channel. I hope you are all feeling good after that performance at Celtic Park. So Celtic 4, Utrecht 2. We're into the playoff round of the Europa League, which we will either play Fenerbahce of Hungary, who we know quite well, or it'll be Stuttgart of Germany, which we played in this competition back in 2003 on the road to Seville. So I'm going to get you their reactions in the comments. To be honest with you, job done tonight, but I would have to call out Kasper Schmeichel. I thought he could have saved them two goals. I know Kasper has been pretty decent in recent times, and I've been, praising him instead of actually criticizing him. But you know what? Good performance from the lads. I thought in the first 20 minutes we looked very, very conservative in our play. We looked like we actually had a bit of conviction. We knew we were up for it. Days in my head I thought was really good in the game. Look at Benji Negrin, 14 goals in all competitions. I know he's still winning over some fans, but you know what? Banging the goals in, that's the most important thing. And I've been critical about the Europa League because I've really been saying it across my podcast of that. At the end of the day, do we need the Europa League right now when we're chasing the league? Like Rangers are now dumped out of it because they've been absolutely shy, and Hearts are out of the Scottish Cup. So two teams that are gonna, are they gonna hold the momentum while Celtic was scrambling and playing games on Sunday. So look, we'll talk about the league on a different day. But you know what? It was a hard watching the second half. I thought we actually took a foot off the pedal around 40 minutes into the game. I thought Donovan played well at times. Ingles, look at lovely penalty from him tonight, and an absolute cracking header from Austin Trusty as well. The brilliant delivery from Arnie Ingles as well for that fourth goal. But Bark has returned to Celtic Park, and there's me thinking when we were drawing against them in the league phase, like, oh, here we go, he'll come back and have an absolute stormer against us. But howler galores, and look, it's 3 points. Concerning thing is, yet again, fair enough, we were down to 10 men last Sunday. We're down to 10 men and Bologna, and we conceded goals, but it's still conceding goals tonight. 2 goals, 2 sloppy goals, to be honest. Especially the first one, like, could have saved it. Didn't even bother going for it. And then the second goal, it's like, Schmeichel, I really, really do question him. I do think, is he good enough to be Celtic's number 1 keeper at times? He just has that in him. Like, he's where he flops in games. I thought he was good at Tynecastle. Get me wrong, pulled off some good saves, but look, I'm happy with the performance. Happy with 4 goals, but conceding 2 isn't good enough at home, especially a team like Utrecht where they've been struggling. They haven't won since November in all competitions. I'm actually gonna pin that up there. That's the worst atmosphere I've heard at Celtic Park, a European game. We need the Green Brigade back in. 100%. I actually was saying that earlier on to my missus, like, what's the story with the atmosphere? Like, why fucking pay that money to go and see a team where you're not even making any effort to sing and cheer behind them? Like, the atmosphere has gone flat at Celtic Park. Yeah, there's a couple of Martin O'Neill, but that's really it. I know that sounds cheap for a fan that's wasn't at the game tonight, but like, really need the fans behind us, especially going into this part of the season where it's just been it's the first one home. It's gonna be home. So let's get just 2 seconds. The first one will be home, and it will be either Varos or Stromgats, and it will be played on the 19th of February, and then the second leg with the week after. So will either be over in Stuttgart, the second leg, or it'll be over in Hungary against Ferencváros. Robbie Keane, Stuttgart, good side, really good side, Bundesliga side, Stuttgart, and then Ferencváros, they obviously beat Rangers as well. But now the atmosphere has gone to the dogs at Celtic Park. You could just feel like it's just some fans are just, they love their club, but a lot of them are mentally checked out. And I don't know if you agree in the comments, are just mentally checked out. They're going for the second because they love their club, but then they're just not enjoying it. They're just not enjoying it to the level they once were. And it has been a hard season to take in. And I know I've been very critical of the board, and I'm consistently moaning about the board, but this is their mess. This is why all of us are feeling like this. I will talk about the two wingers being linked to it as well on the channel tonight, because I've obviously done a little bit of homework on them today. It's the lies with this lies with the board, 100% lies with the boards. Like, as much as you want to be fans and you want to just focus on your team and you want to see your team perform, it's just, you can't get away from thinking in the back of your head. Like, when I see pictures of Michael Nicholson and Dermot Desmond, I get agitated. I get really fucking agitated, because I'm looking at these gobshites that are running Celtic Football Club, these gobshites that are absolutely milking the money in but won't spend a fucking penny. And yet again, we're in this situation with a couple of days to come in the transfer window, which I will be live on Monday night for a couple of hours, a transfer deadline. Am I hoping for any big deals to be done or last minute deals? Probably fucking not, to be honest, because that's how we feel about the board. A couple of loan deals probably, but yeah, we were been looking at a guy from Serie B and a guy who is a Hungarian international. He's only been capped once, 22-year-old Razic. So let's see how that goes. And then the guy from the French winger that's playing in Serie B, who has 8 goals this season. But this is just like, look, let's credit Martin O'Neill's at getting a victory tonight. Let's credit that. It was some nice goal score tonight. But the bigger root of the cause is, you can have as much antibiotics as you want on your mouth, and your mouth is still killing you with that absence. And Michael Nicholson and Dermot Desmond is the fucking absence in your mouth. They ain't going anywhere until they're taken out, and they won't be taken out because that board level will not make changes to the little cronies. So it's crazy. We're getting people saying a lot. I'm getting a lot of people coming across me social media saying that they're going to thinking of giving up their season ticket next season because this is how they feel. But is it just a temporary unhappiness? And when we're going in the right direction, what's going to happen. Celtic are not going to. Celtic after this window should be really, really going out in that market and looking for the manager. Yes, Newson again. Congratulations to Bodo Glint last night. Qualified for the Champions League knockout stages. Unbelievable. When are you coming to Belfast for a point? Paddy wants to know. Paddy, I will be probably coming to Belfast probably in the latter part of the year, to be honest with you. Um, I was actually in Bristol last weekend. Shout out to the Bristol CSC, the coaches and horses. Absolutely brilliant set of lads down in that pub that support Celtic. This is why I wasn't on, to be honest with you. I was away for a couple of days. After the game, I decided to stay in Bristol for another night because I was fucking absolutely depressed out of my mind. Even though we drew the game, I felt like we lost the game because we weren't great. We were bullied in the middle of the pitch. It was never sending off. And then when I called it out on socials, people were like, "Get a grip, hearts this and hearts that." Like we were, I'll be honest with you, we were robbed by the ref. McLean robbed us. He should never ever went to the VAR. Robbed us, but it just shows that blue card, eh? It just shows that like they really, really, really want Celtic not to win this league this season. The officials, every club, they keep claiming it's all for Scottish football and all this bullshit. At the end of the day, I really believe, and I'm saying this, I'm saying it from my heart and I'm saying it from my soul. I think people need to stop fucking thinking we're going to win the league. There's like a 10% chance we're going to win the league, to be honest. We had a chance on Sunday to fucking make a statement and we scored 2 goals and then obviously the sending off happened and then we crumbled and the bench isn't strong enough. But even tonight, you're looking at that bench, there's talk of Bernardo, maybe a move to Denmark. There's talk of interest for Rio Atate. I'm sick of arguing with people on a week in a week basis on social, like where Rio hasn't dropped his tails. Oh, what you're talking about, Rio? He's this and he's that. I'm like, he's done. He's fucking done. Just accept it. He's not the player that he was 2 or 3 years ago. Move him on. Cash it in. Get someone else in. Simple. It does my head in. It's like people are afraid to get rid of stuff in their house. Just keep it forever. You can't keep shit forever. Rio goes. Thank you for your memories, Rio. Thanks for winning a treble with us. Thanks for winning a couple of doubles with us. Move on. He's not a bad player, but mentally he's not there. He's not there. And people need to realise that we have until Monday to save our season. I think it's done, to be honest with you. I think we're fucking hoping on false hope. And I don't want to put piss in the cornflakes tonight, but yes, it's been a good result and 4 goals, but it's Europa League. We're not going to win the Europa League. Small chance of winning it. Like, people need to realise and smell the coffee that we've been shite this season. From back to front. We have a keeper who wants to turn up some days, but majority of the time he's been shy. He's washed up. He got fucking exposed to 2 goals tonight, yet again in Europe, which he could have saved. Similar to Braga, could have saved. And yes, Scales looked all right tonight. Tierney wasn't bad, to be honest. Yeah, I'm liking Tierney taking some of the set pieces when regards to corners, but Nygren was good. Ingles was pretty decent, but there's too much divide on players' opinions this season because we've been so inconsistent in the midfield, up front. You know, it's good to see Nacho come back, get some minutes tonight as well, ahead of schedule. And then I seen Carter Vickers leaving 20 minutes early. Fuck Carter Vickers. Honestly, he goes through my fucking head. Great serving for Celtic, but like, need to cash in on him as well in the summer. Spends more time on the treatment table. And Carter Vickers was probably one of our best defenders since Virgil van Dijk. Just fucking injured all the time. And unlucky for some, but you know, We need players that are fit and fighting for the cause. We're here to win a title. Well, some of us think we're here to win a title. Some of us think some of us are checked out. You know, I don't like feeling like I'm basically almost checked out. I'm in the lobby feeling like, all right, titles fucking done at this rate. Like I'm not like I know people are kind of brushing Rangers off, but Rangers are 8 games unbeaten in the league. They have a bit of momentum. Yes, we have Martin O'Neill back, but it's are they going to get the quality in the next by Monday? Like Martin O'Neill said in the press conference, doesn't know if you're going to get the players in by Sunday, but he's confident that we will do business by Monday. By Monday. I know we've been looking at players, right wingers, and we've been looking at centre backs and midfielders and stuff, but you can look at fucking everyone until you're blue in the face. I've said it so many times on this channel. You can go in, you could ring up how many chippies and how many Chinese do you want and inquire about their menu, but it's about actually fucking doing something about it and spending money, you know? CCV is done. I think he's done personally, and no disrespect to the guy. I just think he's like too many injuries. Too many injuries with CCV. Even his concentration levels over the last couple of years are nowhere near it. Big games, just I think he's one of these players. You know, he's sailed the course with Celtic, and same with Rio Atate. Days of Maeda, majority of the season, he sailed his course. Thought he looked all right tonight, but you know, it's like some of the it feels like the short is shrinking to inferior players. Like, it's just doesn't feel right, you know. And I hate coming on and feeling like, yeah, it's been a win tonight. I'm very self-entitled. I feel like we should have had more, or should have had this and that. But the point is, we're inconsistent. We are inconsistent. Our team is done. Half our team is done. You know, don't get me wrong. Yang was all right tonight. You know, calm down, mate. I'm sure Michael Nicholson is going to produce 3 top-class players tomorrow. I fucking hope so. I don't know, mate. I honestly don't know. You know, Michael Nicholson, better chance to win the Euro minions, Chris, to be honest. We'll look at these two guys that we've been linked with anyway. Give me 2 seconds. Let's have a look now. I'm not even thinking of bleeding names. I'll get there. I'll get there in a couple of minutes. Fucking. It'll be deadline scrambling. As always, David. As always. You know. It's always the same with Celtic every single year. Well, and you know what it probably is? The concern is they'll probably offload players quicker than getting players in. I think Shin Ahmad has gone to Bundesliga too. To be honest with you, what an absolute disaster with him. What a disaster! Like, don't get me wrong. We go back to his first game in the Como Cup, and we're all like, "Oh, this could be maybe a Kyogo replacement." Nah, we need to stop fooling ourselves. Players like that. So far as Gedemez, I can never even pronounce half these players' names. But we're gonna look at him anyway. The guy from Forest Nose in Serie B. So he's 8 goals this season. 8 goals. There's talk that Celtic have acquired about him that were in advanced talks, but it's a fucking joke. Like, we should have been getting Masvanise from Motherwell, 100%. I seen that like Kieran Bowie is basically needing a done deal to Hellas Verona for 86 million quid. But this guy, look, he's played 50 games in Serie B, or in second division and in Italy, 10 goals. Yeah, he's been impressive this season, but he hasn't played to any bigger level than that. And Serie B, yeah, it's already level. Some decent teams in it, but like, come on, we're really scraping the barrel. And I looked at this guy, and look, kind of reminds me of the Alabama. I'm not gonna lie, the way he comes in, the way he comes in and hits the ball, and his pace and his skill. It gave me a bad glimpses, to be honest. The other guy, the Hungarian, I thought he looked like a better player. He was playing in the Slovakian league. He's came through the Varos Academy. He's 22 years of age. He's doing all right. What do you do with Balikwisha? We listen to offers and sell them and take a cut. Guys just not nowhere near the Celtic level. And as I said, I've no problem putting my hand up and admitting that I was all in for Balikwisha for a year and a bit. But obviously, this guy was highly rated in Belgium. He done well in Stade Liège, and then he went to Antwerp, and Antwerp fans were gutted when he was leaving. Just couldn't cut our Celtic. Simple as. That's the best way to explain it. Bonesy boy. Hold on, just wait for your comment. Hello. It's good result tonight. Hopefully we can bolster the squad. But it's far too late, I think. It's just been piss taken. That's what it is. It's just like it's like a fat man sitting on the couch and saying, "Oh, I'll go to the toilet in a few minutes. I'll go to the toilet in a few minutes," and then decides to go last minute because he's about to piss himself. Oh, I'll get the door in a few minutes. Oh, I'll do this in a few minutes. That's a Celtic board for you. It's absolutely criminal they're getting away with this. It's criminal. And people still sit there and pretend that's not fucking happening. Like, I put a post earlier on Facebook and someone's like, well, then what would you, like, cheap talk. Someone said cheap talk, and I wouldn't see you doing a better job. Well, maybe I'm not qualified to do a better job, but maybe as a fan, I can clearly see, if you're a real fucking fan, have a bit cop on sense, I could see that the club's being ran the wrong way. We're not operating the best fashion. Maybe we're operating the best way of taking money in, but you're not. You're not putting your money back into the most important thing, the team. It's very hard to look forward to a game when you see your team fucking still conceding 2 goals average a game. Don't get me wrong. We were unlucky in Bologna. We were fantastic in Bologna last week, folks. Defensively, I thought we were brilliant. We took it really well. And then Tynecastle, you could just show it. You could just see, like, they're trying to lift ourselves, but there's not enough quality. I know the good old Czech Tomas started the game and he got an assist and stuff. And I know he'll be playing Falkirk on Sunday at Celtic Park, but it's too predictable. We're just so predictable. We crumble in our own box, crumble when it comes to set pieces. That needs to be addressed big time. The mental thing is that this season is still savable. It doesn't feel it like I know what you're saying 100%. There's time to change it, but we've been hoping on fucking the gods to come down to change it. To be honest, I don't think Motherwell would pay the wages. To be honest with you, don't think he'd be paying the wages. But look, I think it would be a good option. Congratulations to Nacho playing 30 minutes and not getting injured. Well, let's not jinx him. He's only literally back. But look, wasn't the most exciting performance in the eye, considering we scored 4 goals. As I said, the goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, he needs to sort himself out. Feels like the boats are coming from France. Jesus. I'd have Balikwisha washing the players' cars soon. Keep the faith. I just think Balikwisha, as I said, I don't feel it's not like I don't feel sorry for him. I just feel like I just hasn't worked out at Celtic for him. He had a chance under 3 different managers just has not worked out. Not worked out. I think Yang is doing well. He looks like he's stepped up. And yes, we're looking to obviously get players in the right wing because, James is coming to the end of his contract. Will they keep him at the club in some capacity? Or will he go and play for someone else? Or maybe he'll go into coaching capacity or do something else. I don't know. I think James is, he's quite a quiet person. But you know what? We don't see what happens behind the scenes. And maybe you never know, he could be into that coaching capacity. But see what happens. Good to see Scott Brown be a pundit tonight as well. Emma Dodds goes through my head. She gives me a bleeding migraine. Like I give people migraine when I talk about the board. I liked Tanecki, but he was pitched tonight. Obviously, there was rumours going around yesterday about Sebastian Tanecki, that Hamburg were interested in him. There was nothing really concrete about it. It was coming from an African page, sports column. No concrete sources. Sky Sports never reported it. Fabrizio Romero never reported it. Florian Petterberg from Germany for Sky Sports never reported it. It was an old and absolute bullshit nonsense. And if it was true, I probably would have listened to the offer. There's no way Hamburg are going to pay 13 million to Rangers rivals for a player. There's no way, to be honest. We need a Bruni type in our midfield. That's what I've said this so many times about Callum McGregor. Fantastic servant, but his legs are done. And you know what? Listen to offers in the summer. We need a complete. It's going to be hard to offload a lot of these players in this window and in the summer, but we need a complete revamp of that squad. And it's in a positive manner. With a new manager coming in, you need to get him in early enough, confirm it, get him in, let him start his job if it's the 1st of June or the 1st of July. Obviously, he'd probably be working behind the scenes in the 1st of June with the World Cup and stuff being on. Really, really need to start, clearing players out because it is concerning. It really is concerning. Like, we have players on that wage bill that's absolutely stealing it. Who for manager? There's no point in me saying who for manager. I don't really know yet. I've said a few people I want, but it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, to be honest. Miguel nowhere good. He's just Luke McCown. Sorry, not Miguel. Luke McCown. His confidence is gone. I like him, but I think his confidence is done. It's shot. And there's a few people saying that to me lately that they would actually let McCown go. I'd keep him. I think he needs to make a point. I think he gets a few goals into him, lift his confidence up. I feel sorry for him, to be honest, because he is one of us. He is a fan. He's getting the dream move to play for the club, but he needs to step up. And look, there's not many superior players ahead of him in that midfield. Engels, technically good player, but doesn't have the engine to run box to box. That's the problem with Engels. And that's why I think we're expecting a lot from Arnie Engels when we signed him. As I made it clear, Rio Atate, offload him. Thanks for the service, Rio. Bernardo, I don't know. I'm 50-50 about Paulo Bernardo. I think Bernardo, I just feel like when he got the permanent move, he hasn't really been. He's been on the fringes of the first team. Hasn't really had a chance to, under Rodgers when he signed. Like the thing, like you're gonna have different opinions about Ingles. Like people are gonna say he's shy, as I see in the comments, but he's still only 22. You may say, well, we only scored a penalty tonight. It was a lovely penalty, lovely goal. It was a matter to goal at the end of the day. I'll be honest with you, I thought it was a soft decision for the penalty. I actually felt a bit of sympathy towards Utrecht. Um, the player didn't intentionally go into handball. He was trying to actually block himself off from hitting Trusty in the side. That's what my opinion is. Even watching, I was like, I think that was a bit of a soft penalty to give. But if that was against Hearts, I'd be screaming all day. We don't get that in Scottish football. You know, Falkirk, Aberdeen, Dundee, Livingston, Kilmarnock, nothing less than 5 wins. Look, we'll all want to be going on to win this, expecting to win every single game we can until the end of the season at every level. Scottish Cup, League. Like if I had my personal opinion on it, I wouldn't give a flying fuck about the Scottish Cup or the Europa League. I'd be going all in for the league because they're just games of, yeah, you could perhaps go on and try win the Scottish Cup, but eyes on the prize, especially when you don't have enough in the tank. You gotta utilize what you can and focus on one gear instead of trying to win battles in all fronts. I just don't think we have the personnel to win battles on all fronts this season, and we've been seeing it. We've seen, and you know what the funny thing is? What pisses me off is Club Brugge, Boda Glimt, someone else qualified for the Champions League last night that are around the same type of even a lower budget than us, and they qualified for the latter stages of the Champions League last night. Yes, Almaty finished last, and he only had I think it was 1 point in the whole 8 games. But like, I hate when people are trying to put us in like that scenario, like, oh well, if we were in it, we would have had more points. Well, if we were in it, we would have done this. But we weren't fucking in it. With the squad that we have, probably wouldn't done fuck all, to be honest. We scraped through in the Europa League. Doesn't mean that we have the privilege to play in the fucking Champions League. We got beaten by Almaty because we deserved to be beaten by Almaty. We didn't put the organisation into taking them serious. Korgberg, yeah. A team from, is it Azerbaijan? Azerbaijan, is it? They were beaten by Liverpool 6-0, but I just don't think they got through, did they? But the point is, like, it's embarrassing. It really, really is embarrassing. We're looking at this time last year, and we qualified for the playoff rounds of the Champions League. We're playing Bayern Munich. Now we are in the Europa League, and we're about to play Werner Varos or Stuttgart in the home leg first leg at home. How much have we failed as a club? How much has the enthusiasm, the belief, the faith has been sucked out of the fan base over the last year? Losing that playoff, it was more hurtful than losing them 2 cup finals in my eyes. Yeah, you might think it's silverware, but it just shows that board weren't fucking interested when we were going into that. Could have been completely different. We could have had a different transfer window if you took it serious. But instead, they fucked around. We could have had Taneki in. And I know Taneki's been bad. 3 whole goals he scored this season? 2 of them against fucking Partick Thistle and Auchin League Talbot. But like, it's just it's a bad state of affairs, folks. And you can keep pushing it under the carpet and keep hoping for a fucking miracle over the next few days. But every hour goes by, every story goes by. There's fuck all true to it. Like, we're not going to get that guy from Boda Glint. That guy, Kasper Haug, actually. He is a cracking forward, by the way. It is beyond my belief he's not being capped for Denmark. And senior level is beyond. Like, scored again last night against Atletico Madrid. Over in Madrid to help his team get through. That guy is worth about 12 million. Well over evaluation. And then you got the likes of Norwich City who are struggling in the Championship under Philly Clement. putting in higher bids than Celtic Football Club. Why we have probably more money in the bank than they have. That just shows how embarrassing of a club we are this time. It's just a hard one, folks. It really is a hard one to get your head around. It's to get your head around the stature of our club and having the money in the bank. You can't get your head around that. But the board, they don't give a fuck. Never will give a fuck. And I see many people, many podcasts calling out, and fair play to them calling out, but how long will it continue? Fuck it. Just sell the whole team and start from scratch. It's see, some players are on long-term contracts, you know. Yeah. Let the people sing, there's a story in the songs, blah blah. Man up, there's always look on the green side of life. Hell. Green side of life. Green side of life. I'll start feeling optimistic when the board start fucking doing something, Jimmy. That's what I start being optimistic. And I'm not looking in the past of what we've went through in the 90s or what we've gone through with COVID season. I'm looking right now. Looking right now. You know, we've won tonight. As I made it clear, yeah, I'm delighted Celtic have won tonight. But deep down inside, we don't need Europa League. We don't need a Scottish Cup. We need to win this league. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a cup final at the end of May, but we need to put all our bags, all our eggs in one basket. I mean, and focus on that. That's what we need. We need to win the league. The league is the bread and butter. You know, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. We should be saying, well, you know what, we could have potentially winning a cup, a league, and going far in Europe with the type of squad that we should have. But we don't. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. You know, clock is ticking. 11 o'clock Monday. I will be live, folks, on Monday. Don't you worry. I'll be live from 9 o'clock on Monday night. I'm looking forward to chatting to you all Monday as well. Keith, just home from it there to carry on with the Green Brigade. It's different. Yeah, like this is what I'm like. You know what? Fair play to everyone. Fair play to everyone that goes to the games. But do you feel like this is the question? Like, I don't really like being putting people on the spot, but I need to ask you the truth. Do you feel like you're getting your money's worth with this crap this season? Of course, you want to be there to support your team, but the whole package of being a Celtic supporter is Celtic Park should feel like a fortress on a European night. It should be fucking on wheels on a European night, regardless if the Europa League or the Champions League. It just feels like it's just like, as I say, like I've been to 2 games this season and I'm like one game at Celtic Park and I'm just like, I'm not fucking arsed spending money because the Green Brigade are not in, not even because of the Green, just in general. Like where's the rest of the fans? Why are they not fucking singing? Like, yeah, the Green Brigade might give some atmosphere, but they don't hold your hand. It's up to you to make the fucking noise. You know, you need to make the noise. Yous are paying the fucking money. You know, football is nothing without the fans. You know, I feel like the supporters are being changed, but maybe some people are saying this could be a conspiracy that Dermot Desmond is trying to get back at the fans because of the AGM. What happened to the AGM with your son? Some people are saying that. Maybe that could be. Maybe they're trying to punish us. Maybe they want to decline. Maybe they want to laugh at us and say, you know what? We're the ones that are holding the cash here. You used to have no say. Remember, you pay, we don't listen. Maybe it could be that. Maybe it could be. Maybe I'm taking too much into it. You know? No one wants to get involved because people are deflated. The word is disconnected. Disconnected. You know, I work with a guy and he's a season ticket holder, 12 years. And he said to me on Monday, we had a chat. I flew back from Bristol Monday morning, went straight into work, bollocks tired. I'd been drinking my sorrows away. after that fucking. I know we drew. I know we drew. But in my head, we lost the game. In my head, we lost the game because we lost any sort of foot race in the title race. So you can agree or disagree. The 23 is whatever you want. I feel like we lost that game on Sunday. I'm sure, and I wasn't the only person that would say that. I just felt miserable after it. You know, I don't want to promote negativity on this channel. I don't want to promote someone moaning. I don't want you to come on like, oh, there we go. Here's Keith's counselling session for an hour. Him moaning about the board. Him not, us not playing, us having certain players that are not playing. Oh, he's moaning about this again. Oh, he's moaning about that. But yeah, he's fucking self-entitled because he doesn't, because he can sit there with a camera, doesn't go to the fucking games like me and you. Who gives him the right to speak? I just give myself the right to speak if I want to. You know? That's why they have a cold. We have a flu pandemic. Oh, it's you know, it's it, folks. I truly believe we will get out of this storm. I really believe. I don't know if it will be from the end of this transfer window or will it be in the summer. But some of us are riding it well, and some of us affects us big time. As I said, I love to sit down and try think of something optimistic and positive to talk to you about on the channel. But I just feel like they could be doing like Football Manager, looking at so many players from so many leagues. You know, I just think poor scouting, poor decisions from the top, no vision. You know, and I really believe if we don't get the players in, Martin O'Neill's been sold a dud, solid dud. And I have sympathy for Martin O'Neill because he's getting stuck in the crossfire. He's the only one communicating and telling the fans, you know. And you know, it's, you know, I just, as I said, I don't want to be coming on and saying the same stuff all the time. I know, like, we're at the winning tonight, and I feel like I'm pouring my heart out. You should have seen me on Sunday, folks. Don't get wrong, I had a great time in Bristol, but it's just, won't be surprised that Dermot Desmond was being stubborn because of the AGM. I'm telling you, maybe they're just trying to shove the fingers up because Peter Lawwell had to walk away, couldn't handle the heat. As I done a post today of Lawwell, Desmond, and Nicholson. One runs away when can handle the heat. One sits there and thinks he's the mafia boss, and the other one hides away and takes, but won't speak out. The three wise men. Yeah, right. And don't even talk to me with Chris McCoy. He's too busy playing fucking Roblox on his phone. That's why he's too busy doing. You know? And Wilson, the intern fucking chairman. I mean, Nanny can run the club better than he couldn't run a bat. We need to talk about our keeper anyway, Keith. There's no way we should have. Look, Kasper Schmeichel pulled off some good saves last Sunday, but I made it clear I'll throw him under the bus for this, but two disastrous goals tonight. Two disastrous goals tonight, especially the second goal. They're getting beaten from outside the box in that manner. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing with this guy? I think he's another player that's stealing the fucking wage. Another one has to be gone. You know? Now, some people would say great goals. They weren't fucking great goals. Poor marking, poor fucking goalkeeping. You know, I look back at that Braga goal, the second goal. Some technique to score that, but at the same time, Kasper Schmeichel should have been saving it like that instead of using this. You know. Good night, you're depressing me. I don't care. Good night. I shall speak to you soon. I'm here just to say how we feel. Said there's no trouble getting players in. Look at this. Martin O'Neill said this the other day. You can get numbers through the door, but it's about quality. It's about getting quality in. Quantity over quality. That's what, like, well, not quality over quantity, sorry. You know. Oh, God. Oh, God. I don't care. I honestly don't care. I don't care. What does want me to say? What does want me to say? What does want me to say? Well done tonight, folks. Good results. We're into Europa League playoff rounds. Let's just sweep the board shit under the carpet. Like as I said, when Martin O'Neill was appointed, I did say I was like, let's forget about the board politics and let's forget about and let's get behind the team. But at the same time, you're in a fucking transfer window. You've a lot of work to make up to have a chance of winning this title. And what did they do? I feel like we're fucking watching Scott Brown and Neil Lennon again in Dubai in the sunbeds, chilling the fuck out, not worrying the world. That's what it feels like when you're looking at that Celtic board. You know, the league is the priority. You know, like that's what I'm saying. Lenny's is a yes man because Lenny still thinks in his fucking head that he could maybe have a chance of getting the Celtic job again. I love Neil Lennon, but I would not touch Neil Lennon with that job with a 10-foot barge pole. And I said that to my missus tonight. I was like, watch out, watch this space. Lenny 3.0 is going to happen. Would not be surprised with that thought. Would not be surprised. I'm grateful for what Neil Lennon brought to us as a player and a coach and a manager, but would not touch him. He can't even fucking get Dunfermline into it. It's the same when people say Scott Brown. I wouldn't touch Scott Brown. Simple as. Love Brownie. Not sure I think Sinsalo's the answer. Well, I'd give Sinsalo a go ahead of Schmeichel, you know. Just need to get, like, that's it. We just, like, I just, Paul, I know we are at the game tonight. I just feel like, what does it take to get fans feeling, you know, happy, feeling relaxed again? You know, deep down inside, I want to be turning around saying to you at 11 on Monday night, right? That was miserable going through that transfer window, but we're after getting 3 or 4 players in. May not be the type of players that we wanted, but look, they're in the door. We have to get behind them and give this a whack now. You know, it would be, look, I think we're in for a shock on Monday. I think there will be a couple of surprise departures. I think Atate might go. I think Maeda, they might listen to the offers from Maeda. I preferred if he kept Maeda until the summer. But I think they will listen because it's the board. They shafted Brendan Rodgers as much as Ida was dirt on the permanent transfer. They let Ida go. They didn't get a replacement in. We got Iheanacho in. I think we're expecting too much of Iheanacho. Don't think he's at the level, to be honest. Yeah, he's a good physical player, but, you know, injury prone as well. I just think people are just trying too much in their green tints, you know. I think it'd be a good start. We would be better good communication. There's not going to be no communication from that board. They don't give a flying toss about you, man. Don't give a flying toss about me. Don't give a flying toss about any fan, especially the season ticket holders, especially the shareholders. They don't care. They do not care. They only care about money. Money. You're just a number. Just remember that. So no matter how long you support Celtic, no matter the 40 years you support Celtic, no matter how many away games you've been to, no matter how many fucking pies you've ate, no matter how many fucking sneaky bottles of Buckfast you brought in that night, they don't care about you, mate. Just remember that. You're just a number. And I'm sorry if I pissed on your cornflakes tonight and I've upset you. And we've won 4-2, but the realization is we are miles off it. And we need to get in gear sharp and quickly. We shouldn't be having this conversation, as I said. Should not be having this conversation by the end of January. We should have been having this conversation going into January. But instead we hired a pleb from fucking America who thought he was the next fucking Pep Guardiola. I heard he's maybe going to say Etienne, by the way. That's the talk of the street. The guy shouldn't even be allowed near any club in Europe. You know, he should be banned from Europe the way he acted. Gobshite of a guy. No sympathy from him. Every season we will sell someone. That's how it works in, you know. That's a business model, isn't it? You know, that's the business model. That's the way it works. Like but the hard thing is, Ian, right? Look at the quality of the squad we had last year. Like we took on Bayern Munich to the dying embers of that game until unfortunately they scored in the last few minutes. Who is our 25 million player now? Who's our 25 million player? This is how much we have fallen. That's how much the confidence and the belief has been drained out of these players. Them players have the technique and quality to be a 25 million player. But when you've been slapped on your arse on the ground so many times this season, being gone pillar to post, oh, we have Brendan, oh, we don't have Brendan, we have Martin, Martin's gone, we have Nancy, oh, we have Martin again. You know, how many substitute teachers do you bring in? You just don't get it. You need consistency. You need routine. You know, let's be honest. You know, too many substitute teachers. You know, Ingles will probably go back to Germany. There's talks of him going to Red Bull. You know, I thought Donovan was brilliant. Donovan was really good getting up that flank. That's the thing. It's another player you need to chop off that wage list is Tony Ralston. You know, Schmeichel, Ralston, Carter Vickers, because he's too busy playing Roblox and been on the table. Who else? Home can't cut sauce. See, Kwan's meant to be going to Nantes on a permanent deal as well. Just crazy shit, folks. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Sorry for them pissing the cornflakes. I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm lucky. When Sriracha back, he's back training already, so hopefully we'll have him back in contention for the weekend against Falkirk. Look, I'm a big fan of Mars what he says. I've said it so many times, but I think they're having an approach. I think they're going to offer Motherwell 1 million. The guy's probably worth 4 million. That's the Celtic way. That's the Celtic. I hope so as well. I think Donovan, you know, he kind of reminds me of Tierney in his younger days, getting up that flank, not afraid to get stuck in. Good to see with Colby Donovan. Thought he was outstanding over in Belgrade. He was unbelievable that night. But look, we'll see what happens. They're fighting in London roads. What riots? There's no riots. There's no riots tonight. You know, the league is done. When the league is completely gone, when Celtic fans know that's mathematically gone, you'll see the empty stadium, and it'll be sad. It'll be sad when we see that day, because I really, really don't want that day to happen, folks. You know, we went through an empty stadium for fucking over a season. Never mind when you have a chance to have your fans in there. People pay their hard-paid money, and they're getting screwed over, you know. But this is the joys of football. You lose some, when you, like, if you lose a title and you fought and fought and fought, and you were unlucky, you could turn around and say, fair enough. We tried our hardest, and we were better teams that won the league, but it's the opposite, you know. Celtic and Utrecht fans fighting. Sure, I seen a picture of a Utrecht fan with a fucking Rangers jersey. Fanny. But lucky. But no, I'm gonna leave it there, folks. I better head. I'll get back on tomorrow night. Hopefully, we'll have a bit of news about some players. I'm sorry for ruining your night if I came across the pressing in any shape or form. As I said, speak the truth. No point in me sugarcoating it. I don't sugarcoat stuff like with other people, you know. But anyways, I am who I am. Appreciate it, folks. I'll be back tomorrow night about 7. So, yeah, hell.